Did you know that Paraguay, a landlocked country in South America, has been one of the fastest-growing economies in the region for the past 2 decades? Nestled between Brazil, Argentina, and Bolivia, this nation's economic trajectory has been nothing short of surprising. From a deeply scarred past to a promising future, Paraguay's economic tale is one of resilience, strategic decisions, and untapped potential. Join us as we delve into this fascinating economic journey. To fully understand Paraguay's economy, we must first look at its historical and political context. Now, Paraguay, nestled in the heart of South America, has a history painted with tumultuous events. The War of the Triple Alliance back in the 1860s left the nation economically and demographically crippled. Then came the 20th century, a time of dictatorships and political instability, which further rocked the boat for Paraguay. But like a phoenix rising from the ashes, Paraguay began its transformation in 1989. The fall of Alfredo Stroessner's regime marked a significant shift in the nation's political landscape. This transition to democracy heralded an era of political and economic openness, setting the groundwork for Paraguay's economic evolution. Now let's turn the page to the economic cycles. Throughout the 20th century, Paraguay's economy leaned heavily on agriculture and livestock. Staples such as soy, corn, and beef became the country's economic mainstay. Then came the era of hydropower. Blessed with the Paraná River, Paraguay houses several hydropower plants, including the colossal Itaipu, shared with Brazil. As we moved into the 1990s and 2000s, Paraguay shifted its gears towards attracting foreign investments. The country rolled out policies to establish free trade zones, morphing into a production and export hub, especially for the automotive and electronics industries. Then there's Paraguay's membership in Mercosur, the South American Economic Bloc. While this facilitated regional trade, it also brought challenges. Take, for example, the temporary suspension following the impeachment of President Fernando Lugo in 2012. And now, we find ourselves looking at Paraguay in the last 2 decades, a time of significant transformations and consistent economic growth. Agriculture, the services sector, and hydropower have been the driving forces behind this growth, but the road to progress isn't without its bumps. Paraguay still grapples with the need to diversify its economy, improve education and infrastructure, and address inequality. This political transition set the stage for Paraguay's economic metamorphosis. Over the years, Paraguay's economy has been shaped by various economic cycles. Primarily, agriculture and livestock have been the backbone of the country's economy. Throughout the 20th century, the fertile soils of Paraguay have given rise to crops such as soy and corn, while its expansive pastures have nurtured a booming beef industry. This agricultural wealth has not only shaped the country's economic identity, but has also formed a solid foundation for its growth. Next, we have the incredible power of water. Paraguay is blessed with a wealth of water resources, most notably the Paraná River. This river is home to several hydropower plants, including the binational Itaipu power plant, which Paraguay shares with Brazil. Itaipu is one of the largest power plants in the world, and it generates a significant amount of electricity for export, making hydropower a key player in Paraguay's economic cycle. As we moved into the 90s and early 2000s, Paraguay began to flex its muscles in the world of trade and free trade zones. The country implemented policies to attract foreign investments, resulting in the creation of free trade zones. These zones transformed Paraguay into a production and export hub, attracting industries such as automotive and electronics. Finally, Paraguay's involvement in Mercosur, the South American Economic Bloc, has been a significant factor in its economic cycle. As a member of Mercosur, Paraguay has enjoyed the benefits of regional integration, facilitating trade with other regional countries. However, it has also faced challenges, such as its temporary suspension following the impeachment of President Fernando Lugo in 2012. These diverse sectors have been the pillars of Paraguay's economic growth. Each one has contributed to the country's economic evolution, shaping Paraguay into the dynamic and resilient economy it is today. The last 2 decades have seen Paraguay undergo significant economic transformations. From the late 90s to the early 20s, the nation has experienced a consistent economic upswing, outpacing many of its South American neighbors. Agriculture, the services sector, and hydropower have been the main engines of this growth. Paraguay's fertile soil and favorable climate have made it a powerhouse for crops like soy and corn, and a significant player in the beef market. The services sector, meanwhile, has expanded rapidly with the rise of sectors such as telecommunications, finance, and retail. And let's not forget hydropower. With vast water resources, Paraguay is a titan of renewable energy, exporting electricity to countries like Brazil and Argentina. But what makes this economic growth even more impressive is the stability that has come with it. Paraguay's openness to international trade, consistent macroeconomic policies, and investment in infrastructure have helped maintain a steady GDP growth. The availability of cheap energy from hydropower plants has also drawn energy-intensive industries such as aluminum production to the country. Yet it's not all smooth sailing. Paraguay faces several challenges that could hinder its economic progress. There is a pressing need for economic diversification. While agriculture and hydropower are strong, relying heavily on them leaves the economy vulnerable to external shocks like fluctuating commodity prices or climate change. Additionally, improving education and infrastructure, especially in rural areas, remains an imperative. And the issue of inequality cannot be overlooked, as a significant portion of the population still lives in poverty. But despite these challenges, Paraguay's growth trajectory has remained remarkably resilient. The country has shown an impressive ability to weather economic storms and keep its economy growing. It stands as a testament to the power of a diversified economy, stable policies, and investment in infrastructure. The future of Paraguay's economy is, of course, uncertain, but the past 2 decades give us reason to be optimistic. Paraguay's robust economy and favorable business environment have attracted considerable foreign investment. This South American nation has seen an influx of foreign capital, drawn by its low tax burdens, political stability, and the creation of free trade zones. These factors have created a conducive environment for businesses to thrive. One of the significant attractions for investors is the availability of competitively priced energy. Paraguay's abundant water resources have been harnessed for hydropower, making it an appealing destination for energy-intensive industries. The Itaipu Dam, one of the world's largest power plants, generates a significant amount of electricity for export, providing a steady and affordable energy supply. In addition to energy, Paraguay's agricultural sector offers attractive investment opportunities. The country's fertile soil and favorable climate make it ideal for the cultivation of crops like soy and corn. The livestock sector, particularly beef production, also plays a crucial role in the economy and presents potential for investors. However, while Paraguay offers numerous opportunities, it also presents certain challenges. Infrastructure in some areas is in need of improvement. While the workforce is relatively inexpensive, the level of professional qualifications can vary, posing potential obstacles for businesses seeking highly skilled labor. Governance and corruption issues can also present challenges. Although the country has made strides towards political stability, navigating the local political landscape can be complex for foreign investors. Transparency International, which ranks countries based on perceived levels of public sector corruption, places Paraguay in the lower half of its index. This indicates a need for continued improvements in governance and anti-corruption efforts. Moreover, while Paraguay's economy has seen consistent growth, it remains relatively dependent on a few sectors. This lack of diversification can pose risks for investors, particularly in the face of global economic shocks or changes in commodity prices. Nevertheless, with careful consideration of these factors, Paraguay presents an intriguing opportunity for investors. Its robust economic growth, strategic location in South America, and potential in sectors like agriculture and energy make it a compelling choice for investment. Paraguay, with its unique blend of opportunities and challenges, has emerged as an intriguing investment destination. So, is Paraguay a good place for investment? Well, as we've discovered, the answer is nuanced. Over the last 2 decades, this South American nation has shown impressive economic growth, underpinned by sectors such as agriculture, services, and hydropower. Moreover, with its openness to international trade, investment in infrastructure, and the availability of cheap energy, Paraguay is increasingly becoming an attractive destination for foreign investors. However, we must also consider the challenges. The need for further diversification of the economy, improvements in education and infrastructure, and tackling inequality are all areas where Paraguay needs to focus in the coming years. The country's business environment, while favorable, is not without its difficulties. Infrastructure in some areas still requires enhancement, and while the workforce is relatively inexpensive, professional qualifications can vary. Furthermore, issues related to governance and corruption can present challenges. Therefore, the verdict is that Paraguay does offer significant investment potential, but as with any investment decision, individual research is paramount. It's essential to understand the local market, assess the risk factors, and consider the long-term prospects. Remember, the key to successful investing lies in understanding the market, so start your research today.